No.
Sometimes. Okay. The, and the audio on Roll20 stopped and is not being. Okay, can someone speak for me, please?
Speaking. Talking as if to encourage voice interaction.
Okay,
What's he talking
now
about?
it's picking shit up.
No.
OBS is being fucking weird. Okay, I'm gonna start link bombing now.
Explosions of links.
Yeah, boy.
Yep. Yep, boy. Yep, boy. Boy.
Boy.
Yeah. Burgers with fries on top of them are quite good.
Especially if it has like a nice barbecue sauce.
As long as the burger has some kind of sauce, it works better.
Barbecue sauce. I'd kill a man for it.
Like in general, or
Yep.
are you saying you kill them for it, or you kill them because they did it?
Or
So you want the sauce.
yes.
Okay. Note to self: Sind myth sauce.
Sweet Baby Ray's is pretty good.
Yeah.
It's a standard, but it's not my favorite.
That's
Uh,
fair.
I like their it's one that has pineapple in it, and I like it. It's good. Should
I
we
mean,
do
I guess.
should we do introductions?
Yes.
We usually do, yeah, so.
Hello, everybody. I'm Robert Hunter. I play the fancy boy who is tired of what's going on around him. But he
Okay.
keeps going.
Hmm.
Danny?
I've s- I didn't know if we needed to go in alphabetical order as in the call or in actuality.
You're the next one in the list, so we usually go with the call order, anyways.
Okay. Yes, hello everybody. I am the Danny Boop. I play basically a woman who's just been trying not to have a breakdown the last couple sessions because of everything that's been going on.
I'm a good DM, I swear. My party members are perfectly healthy mentally. Screams externally.
Okay.
I am Felzy. I play. I am Feltros. I play Felzy. I am confused. Can I murder something now? I am Mythosia. All things considered, this isn't that distressing for Brimstone, other than, my dad's behind this, but he's also an asshole, so, that makes complete fucking sense.
Uh,
Remember, people, drop kick your fathers.
it's been a while, everybody. Hi, I'm Andy. I play the titular baby, who may or not be dead. We don't know yet. It's still up in the air.
Something about not dead, which may eternal lie.
Yeah. Hi.
Yeah. Alright then, and also hello everyone, I'm Ash, the DM. I swear, by all that is good in the world, that this is not my fault. I say, despite being the one who controls literally everything that happens in this world outside of directly the party's actions. So, not my fault. That's how it works, right? You abstain yourself from all potential consequences by saying it's not your fault?
Yeah, that's how it goes.
Yeah, okay, good. Just making sure.
Yeah.
That's the way of D&D.
I didn't do it unless you have proof. And if you have proof, nah, you made that up.
I didn't do it unless you have proof. But if you have proof, go away.
And if you have proof, that's not valid proof.
You made that up. It's fake. Fake news.
Exactly. Nope. I learned it from the president.
Yes. But before we get political and scream at the heavens,
Yeah.
let's go ahead and get into things for tonight, assuming we're all good to go.
I'm good.
I'm good.
Yeah.
Alright. Making sure the link bombs and everything have been dropped.
Yes, they have.
One day I'll understand why I make that noise in actuality. But yes. So, picking back into things where we were leaving off per last time. You guys have had a couple of days of relatively peaceful downtime despite the whole situation. It's a bit interesting how little in terms of tone has changed in the city despite the sheer gravity of what has happened. It's not that it's being suppressed in any way. The information is out and people know what's happened. But no one seems to be panicking about it. Whether that's a relief or a new stressor for the party members is up to you all to decide per yourself. But a couple of things did happen while you all had your downtime. Some items were sold, the bullion you found converted into coin value spread amongst the party. Some of you spent some time researching, which we will go over. Other ones of you made a couple of calls and contacts. And already within the last day of this downtime, you all have seen the results of those contacts coming to fruition. Tim making an appearance in Graynham. Admittably, hesitantly. Though
Flurry
you're not
of
sure
cats.
exactly why. Yes. And
Tim and
he did
his
bring...
legions.
He did, in fact, bring essentially an entire cart, covered wagon filled
Full
with
of
cats with him.
Well, yeah, the
All
cats
of the
can
cats.
apparently. I mean, the cats can read. Cats can read. I'm sure some of them can cast magic.
Probably.
I don't know how magic works. A cat could probably fucking do it.
I love how that's how Brimstone places his own value in terms of magic. I don't fucking know how to do it, but a cat probably does. You ever seen a cat do something? Weird.
You can, but you can cast magic. Yeah, I don't know how it happens. Just fucking does.
Fair. But yes, Tim did make an appearance and has started speaking with some of the lower level but still resident arcanists of the Bastion. And probably for the best, for one of the party members' general state of mind and mood, the arrival of a envoy from the Zemodus Temple. How they got here so quickly is uncertain, but as a party with rapid traveling capabilities, you know it's probably not too far out of the realm of possibility. But along with them actually did come the large UNT woman that you all know to be Felzy's lovely bewedded wife.
Could easily crush
she's-
any of us like a fucking watermelon.
Probably.
No, there's no probably.
Well, physically she could.
No, yeah.
Morally she couldn't.
Yeah, physically, yes, but she's too nice.
Yes, she's very nice.
Unless we hurt Failsy, then she would absolutely do it.
It would depend on why you hurt Failsy.
Also fair.
She's a little more reasonable. She would probably at least have a broken arm, though.
I understand why you did it. Snap! Don't do it again. Fair.
She wouldn't even purposely break it. It was just because she grips your arm too tightly. Just But yes. But this also brings us to, as you all are finally having made all of your preparations you wanted to do, sending out your letters, information, potential tasks to various employers, and other things. It brings us to you all back at the Bastion, collecting the cart that Graydon was having made ready for you. So we pick back up now as you all are making your way back into the Bastion after these 4 days have passed. At this point, things have calmed down a little bit in tone up here. Especially now that there are people who are considerably more... What is the word I'm trying to think of here? Proficient in the... Experience is a word, but it's not the word I was looking for. Considerably more proficient in the particular fields that are being put to test here. People are starting to calm down a little bit. And there is a little less regulation and red tape for you all to be able to get into the Bastion. You're obviously still stopped, but there's no, like, putting you all into an interrogation room and putting you all in the effects of a Zone of Truth spell, almost getting arrested for treason. You know. None of that. None of it necessary. But before you all, as you're making your way inside, you do see Graynham himself standing next to a large tarped object. Good to see you all.
A pleasure to meet you as always.
Is there some like grand dramatic reveal of what's under there?
I suppose a little bit of one.
Mm-hmm.
Has your time over these last 4 days been spent well?
I mean,
The issue with the clock tower notwithstanding,
yeah.
it's been rather lovely.
Obviously. Well, that is good to hear. Well, I suppose you all will not want to dally much longer as you have places to be. And he walks over to this tarped object and just quickly pulls it off. Underneath, as compared to what your previous cart was, where it was rather noticeable and fancy at a glance with its constant nature-themed filigree covering the outside of it, anyone taking a single look at it would be able to easily tell that you were some kind of envoy or maybe even nobility for the Bastion itself. This one is comparatively plain. Still the sort of, and I know this is a term that not all smile upon, but still the sort of covered gypsy wagon, like full-on wood structure vibe. But the outsides are painted in a deep green, and otherwise it is mostly just flat and somewhat featureless. Though both sides do have a window on them, as where the last cart did not have any windows. But much as the last one did, it has the large doors in the back, and the single door leading to the front. I decided that since you all are going to be traveling into a place where tensions are still somewhat frayed between this kingdom and that, it'd be best to give you a mode of transportation that's a little less auspicious.
It's rather quaint, but that is fair reasoning. What do the rest of you think?
I mean, it ain't fancy. So I like it.
Don't need to be fancy.
Exactly.
Don't care, got wife.
Fair.
Though I am curious how you all intend to fit into such a small wagon.
It's bigger on the inside.
Oh. Okay. I will believe you for now. But it is very small.
Do I look like the kind of person who could get away with lying to you?
I am not the type of person who is good at telling when someone is lying.
And I'm not good at lying, so
Anyway,
Then we equal out.
that's fair. Yeah, anyways.
maybe less talking about the inside, and how about we take a look?
Yes. I don't remember if you ever actually gave me the floor plan you wanted for the inside of this.
I did.
I could not find it in my records when I went looking.
It was a. Oh yes, do we have our good boy Lee with us?
Lee. Yes, you do, but he's being very quiet. Notably,
I-
Lee does have a lot more kitchenware than he previously had, which is a little bizarre.
Huh. I know I drew up a document. I know I sent you a picture.
That's why I was confused, because I couldn't find it. But the... Yeah. I roughly... Sorry. I roughly remember everything you had laid out in there, or if you'd want to describe it based on how you remember it, that's fine too, because you were the one who designed the inside of it.
Yeah, that's the issue. I just opened up my AutoCAD and it's not listed amongst my documents.
This is why I was confused. I'll just do a rough description of it and we'll get the actual, like, direct floor plan laid out again later. But if I remember rightly, it was set up with still the same main living space, a bathroom, separate bedrooms, and a workstation. Yes. So yeah, as you all start investigating the inside of it, it is still somewhat sparsely furnished. It's not quite as lavish as the previous one was, but from everything you've gotten the impression of thus far is that one was probably lent to you that was actually being used by someone else previously. It was not made for you all. There is still furniture on the inside of this one. Beds set up in a somewhat barracks-esque style, but fairly comfortable. But the actual rooms between them are parted off. There is a similar living space with a large workstation inside of it, and still a place to act as a kitchen. And otherwise, it is considerably larger on the inside than the previous one.
Don't feel bad. I think we broke that one. The last one.
You didn't break the last cart, but you did the last mount did break itself a little bit. Oh, then I will have to apologize for the not particularly lavish state of the dressings of this place. I did not know how long you all would be remaining, so I simply pushed to get the basic amenities into it first. Hope this is not displeasurable for any of you.
And I'm okay with it. But, I can sleep on a hard floor, so.
I know that, Brimstone.
I think right now function over fashion is what's important.
Yeah. Don't matter how pretty is it. Don't matter how pretty something is if it ain't work.
I mean, to be fair, I typically sleep on a rock anyways.
Yeah, you get used to it.
No, I enjoy... Never mind. I enjoy sleeping on a rock.
No, that's fair.
Okay. Jamel just starts exploring the internal space. Surprised that it actually is bigger on the inside than it is on the out.
And in the end, we are traveling, and we can't always demand the life of luxury while on the road. I've traveled in much worse.
Of course. To be fair, living in luxury is what these spaces are actually about. Being able to travel with a great deal of comfort even while on the roads. Oh, I did push for this to be added. And he walks you over to the side of the side of the living space, where there's actually a small curtain drawn across one of the walls. If you pull this open, you can actually see the outside of the caravan. It should actually be rather useful. One of the bedrooms also has the other window for the other side.
Fair enough.
Well, that's great to have.
Yes. I remember you mentioning something about only being able to see outside of the cart whenever one of the doors were open and that having effects on the movement between the inside and the outside space, so we tried to have some solutions thought up for that.
Certainly will help us keep a better awareness of our surroundings.
Just be aware, and he sort of just like motions for you to look out the window.
Sure, Vinci will do so.
Alright then. You do so. There's a weird haziness to what you can see outside. It's almost like the window is dirty, but you can clearly tell that it's not. There's a bit of a predicament between the exchange of size and space between these two locations. You won't be able to have a clear idea of what's outside, but at least some idea will be more useful than none.
Indeed.
Basically, if you're trying to perceive something from outside of the cart, from inside the cart, it will be at disadvantage no matter what. Because it is essentially being put through a not very good filter.
Fair enough.
But at least you have a chance of noticing things before they just hit the cart. Alright then. I don't have much else to say to you all except thank you. I thank you all for everything you've done so far and everything you continue to do. And though I know it's unlikely, I do hope that your travels going forward are safe.
We'll just have to handle whatever fate throws our way.
Yeah.
I suppose there's no way around that. Alright then. I'll have a mount hitched to the cart for you. Unfortunately, Galadriel's not truly fit for travel anymore. At least not for quite some time.
Oh, okay. I was thinking, like, how do we break the magical horse that speaks headaches?
No. He wore out some of his runes by taking damage in travel.
And I guess we did leave him alone for like a week.
And
You're
he-
also aware that he ran at full speed across an entire
whole time.
continent without
Yeah.
stopping.
Yeah.
There were probably points where he just ran through things.
Also fair.
I do have a new mount set up for you, though it will not be as fast.
Does it talk?
I have not given it that ability, though. But if you desire to have the ability, I could.
No, not really.
It will understand your commands, no matter what, though.
Okay, that's really all I care about.
Yes, and much as Galadriel did, I do also have it. And he does. The only real decoration in the living room is that same map from before. The issue is that this mount has not traveled to these places before. He'll not know the way until you've at least traveled there once. This is
Fair
a newly
enough, so-
created construct.
So we'll have to guide it to where we want to go.
When you could tell it to follow a road, they'll be wary of how long it will take.
Fair.
He just nods. And it doesn't have a name yet. Feel free to give it one. And with that, he's actually going to start making his way towards the exit of the cart. I recommend you all get settled. And then I'll have Cadence and Sonata and Lionel come give their farewells before I make sure that they are somewhere they will not be found by such forces.
Alright.
Thank you.
Thank you.
He just nods to you all. He steps out of the cart, and unless you all want to discuss anything between the lot of you,
Just Dravinci chiming up. So we get to name the construct that is going to be ferrying us across the continent. Who wants to name it? Feels I know you're good with names.
Jeeves.
What?
Jeeves.
Does that mean something, or just because it sounds funny?
I remember hearing a lot of people who have chauffeurs refer to them as Jeeves.
So it's a rich people thing. Got it. I hate it. Not really. I don't really care. That's what we want to go with. I don't mind.
I am not
Oh.
hearing any opposition.
Well, we can call it Jeeves and see how that fares. Morgan, your thoughts?
I had a name in mind, but it sounds dumb thinking about it.
The floor is open for options.
She just kind of shrugs and just Cisco.
Cisco does sound a bit more like a name you'd give an animal.
I just know this elf girl who'd come through the village a lot when I was growing up. She had one of those big dumb horses named Cisco.
Your guess is better than mine. We don't deal much in horses in the Zamodis.
Just shrugs again.
Their hooves aren't the most well built for sand.
Especially not at the Flagora deserts.
I tried
So
making
shall-
one of the sandwormies into a horse once. It didn't work.
No, Felsi, no. It tried to eat you 3 times and you kept not noticing. Jamel just has a far off look of vaguely like she might be having a Vietnam flashback. Let's do not do that again. If we find any strange animals in our travels this time, I'm going to see if they're friendly first.
And you'll be meeting a lot of interesting creatures.
So I have been told. Alright. Alright. After a few moments pass, the back door opens again. So you all see the trio of Sonata, Cadence, and Lionel as they make their entrance into the cart. So you all intend to be going?
Yeah, we've got other things we need to take care of.
I see. Well, do be safe. And all of you, I'm going to make a request of you. I would like to ask that you do what I could never do. Please stand up to my mother.
Just looks at Felsi. Well, one of us is well on the way to that.
Failsy, she gives you a very sorrowful expression. And actually steps closer to you.
Elsa steps in and gives her a hug.
She just stiffens before very tightly hugging you back. I'm sorry I was never able to keep my promise.
I'm sorry it took me so long to get back.
I always knew you would. Between the two of us, you're the one who can stop her. She actually breaks from the hug and holds your shoulders. Failsy. This isn't much, but I'd like to give you a parting gift. One that I know will help protect you.
Elsie cocks her head to the side. It's like, you don't know magic? How did you make this?
She actually pulls the staff off of her back. The one that she was wielding against you all in the maze entrance. And offers it towards you.
Ooh.
I don't know exactly what it is, but... And don't let this dissuade you from using it, but... Mother gave it to me, and it even lets someone like me use magic.
Bowsy has a rough idea of what it possibly is. It's probably a preloaded staff.
Something like that. Alright. Just be careful with it, okay?
I'll be sure to only ever point it at Mother.
Well, point it at anyone who's causing you harm. Wait, and she stops. And just very gently pats you on the head. Within reason.
Ow.
That's not to waste it on someone who doesn't deserve that type of treatment. She just cups either side of your face before very gently kissing you on the forehead. Alright. Okay, no more goodbye. I'm gonna start crying like a baby if I say any more goodbye. She just steps back. While this was going on... Sorry. What was that?
Just Da Vinci will just chime in. Nah. You do realize that asking Failsy to perform actions within reason is a bit of a tall order.
I know she has reason. I've known her for longer than any of you. No, I suppose a lot has changed since then.
I'm showing a lot of restraint. Da Vinci's still alive.
See? She does make a good point.
Alright then. Alright, while that conversation was going on, Sonata patters her way up to you, Morrigan.
Okay.
So, you're leaving?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
It's fine. You've got, like, world-saving stuff to do, right?
Yup. There might be other little girls out there who need help just as much as you did.
She nods. Well, make sure to help them just as much as you help me.
I'll try to.
Oh, and can you tell the other lady hi for me?
I think I know who you're talking about, and I can do that, yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
And she'll ruffle Sonata's hair a little bit.
Yeah, your fingers like get stuck in the curls a little bit. There are a lot of them. Girls got ringlets.
Yee.
She got that Shirley Temple hair.
Yee. You be good to your mother, okay?
Yeah, I will. I'll be sure they're safe.
Same goes for Lionel. You know, I'm sorry, I have a hard time saying his name.
That's right. You don't have to worry. She just looks up at you and nods a couple of times. I'll make sure. And she like gestures for you to like lean down towards her.
Morgan does so very just like, yeah, of course.
She like cups her hands around her mouth so that no one can see what she's saying, but then does the little kid thing of whispering way too loud. I think Lionel is my dad, by the way.
Oh, you don't say. Morgan's like whispering back to her.
I'm pretty sure. Gotta make sure again though. But I think. So I'm gonna make sure he's okay.
Fair enough.
While you're still leaned down the way you are, she just like gives you a little smooch on the cheek.
Aww.
Okay. Be safe, okay? I know you got. I know you're gonna save people. I know you're gonna save the world, and I know you're gonna save other little girls who need help. But you gotta be around to save people. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
So be careful.
I will do my absolute best to do so.
Okay. She nods a couple more times before pattering back over to Lionel's side.
Yee.
He just looks down at her, just gives her a couple little pats on the head. I don't think I can thank you all enough for everything you've done. There are certainly no words that truly express the amount of gratitude I feel towards you.
Just
I do wish we could. Sorry.
we just did what we felt was right to do.
Even still, that sense of justice is few and far between these days. Don't let the world break it down. Because it will certainly try to.
I do wish we could keep traveling. There's so many wonderful places that we could show, but safety first and all that.
Yeah, with how many things try to kill us on an average basis, I don't exactly think that's a tourist vacation.
Well, I'm not exactly a tourist. But
Nevertheless.
These two need me, though. Thank you, Armin.
I found it!
Woo!
Post it in the game chat so everyone can see.
Yee.
Just a very rough AutoCAD layout. What's not shown is space for shelves and for a workbench-esque setup.
Yeah. But still, the rough floor plan is useful. Alrighty then. But yeah, he just nods towards you all. I wish I had something to give you all to part as my wife does your companion. I suppose I'll simply say good luck. You will certainly need it with what you intend to do.
Yeah. Say that. No. Sorry, Cat has my Mothra figurine.
Cat stealing moth? Never heard of it.
No. I know it's plastic and you like to carry plastic, but no.
Need to get that cat a teething ring.
Sorry. Weird
Like a
Cat is
chi-
weird.
Like a child's teething ring would probably give her so much happiness.
You know, I might ought to pick up a cheap one and see if she likes it.
She very well could. Get one of the thinner ones though, because she is a cat.
Yeah. Small mouth.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, though.
It's fine. It's at this point as you all are giving your final goodbyes to this family that Brimstone, you suddenly feel the weird sensation of a psychic connection forming in your head. As Andy, if you would.
I'm alive. Hiding out under the name Will.
Oh, Andy, your microphone is breaking up.
Jesus fuck.
It's honestly kind of fitting.
Well, yeah, but I want to understand the words that are being said first.
Hello?
Yeah.
Hello.
Can we hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
So, I'm alive, free in Paddlewall, hiding out under the name Wilton. I have a tail now. Bring me some money and shoes, please.
And it just stops, and you realize you could respond.
Okay, yeah, I was about to ask, would there be an indication of can I respond, or is this something that Brimstone would have to know? Although I
You
guess
know about you're a military person. You know about the message spell.
Descending.
The sending its message with details.
True.
I didn't mean to be that sassy, but it is true.
Yeah, no, I just put it out.
You would be aware that you can respond.
Well, that as long as you can, we'll be there as soon as we can be.
So to the point.
Yeah.
Yeah, and everyone else in the room can kind of see as Brimstone's eyes glaze over slightly.
Yeah, like in like confusion and then like slow understanding of, oh, okay.
All right, thank you, Andy, for making your one necessary appearance for the day.
Yeah, I'll take my checks later.
Yeah, don't worry, it's in the mail.
Sorry.
It will come in the form of a bag of candy, viciously delivered to your address.
Viciously delivered?
That's
It's
only for
shot out
Andy.
of the cannon.
That's only for Andy to find out. No, it's delivered by that one brown owl from Harry Potter, the one who was bad at its job. But yeah. So Brimstone, that happened.
Okay. Sending lets you know who the message is from.
Yes, you know who has sent you the message.
Yeah, so I'm aware that it's not somebody who is convincingly mimicking Keta, that it is actually Keta.
From Brimstone's understanding of magic, yes.
Okay.
Literally speaking, there are ways to confuse that, but from Brimstone's understanding of magic, yes.
Yeah. Because the most he usually gets from that is Vivian, who's yelling at him.
Yes, so that's your understanding, and you always know it was Vivian. This time you know for sure that it's Keta.
Okay.
Basically, your brain has caller ID.
Right.
I just want to imagine everyone staring at Brimstone as he's staring at the ceiling.
Actually, Da Vinci was going to mention something to Lionel, but
Sorry, that
mean,
was
I mean-
when that was supposed to happen. You could still talk to Lionel, but
Yeah.
yeah,
everyone is still present.
yeah.
I was more or less wanting to know if Brimstone wanted to say anything about this or if he was just going to wait.
Well, if Dravinger had something that was happening at the same time, I'll let that go first.
Yeah, so what do you want to say? Lionel is still standing around with Sonata at his side, so you can grab his attention if you want to.
Yeah, Da Vinci will just approach him. I know you talked about potting gifts, but and I want to give one to you. I know it's not exactly a fair trade for what's been given. And they'll hold out a pouch. The inside this is a gem that summons the force, ferocity, and strength of the winds of a desert. If anything does happen to you, you can throw it out of the pouch to potentially give yourself an escape. He's going to give him the Gem of Desert Wind.
Alright. He will take it in his hands. I don't believe I've done anything to earn respect and pay from you. If anything, I'm still the one who owes you. But I will take this.
The way I see it, you're a man who wants to do best by those he cares about. And that's something worth protecting.
I understand.
Anyway, that's all.
He nods. Dravinche.
Hmm?
I know of among these people in your group. You're probably one of the most reckless. Please be careful.
I don't know what you're talking about, but I will do my best.
Fair enough. He will stow this item away for potential later use.
Yee. And he'll give a little goodbye wave to Sonata.
She gives you an exaggerated wave in return.
That's all I
As
wanted
she
to do.
does. Fair enough. And now we pick back up with the Brimstone Brain.
Far away is Petalfall.
Hmm.
That's where we're heading to next.
Yeah, how far away is it?
Specifically, you would know this, Morgan, because you were actually looking into this. The trip between the Bastion and Petalfall is roughly 2 weeks by carriage.
I mean, it's gonna take us roughly 2 weeks to get there.
That checks out. It's roughly about a week to get to the border.
Why? What's the rush?
Random, is this mount that you're giving us any faster than a regular horse?
Raynham is not currently present.
Oh, okay. I missed him leaving.
He left before Sonata and Co.
no,
came in.
No, yeah, you're right. Just
He did tell you though that this mount, it did have properties, but it's not as fast as Galadriel is.
right. Okay.
You don't know what those properties are at this moment,
Mm-hmm.
but apparently it does have something special about it. But it's not speed like Galadriel had. You also haven't seen the mount period yet.
True. That doesn't Petalfall.
Wait, what?
Wait, what?
She sent me a message via some magic bullshit. She managed to escape the cult and she's hiding out.
That's
Apparently
fantastic!
she's also manifested a tail, which is concerning in its own right, but that's something we can deal with when we get there.
Yeah.
It's just a matter
First
of...
priority in that is her safety.
Yeah, exactly. Sure, she'll figure something out, though.
It's a good thing we were already heading there next. We don't have to change any plans.
Yeah.
Yes, it is one of the biggest cities along our path. It was supposed to be a minor detour, but now we have much bigger, a much bigger catch there.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Lee, did you hear that?
You actually don't see Lee at this stage because you're not really sure where he is right now.
I look towards the kitchen.
Everything he's carrying is set down there, but you do not see Lee.
Where'd that big man go?
If someone would want to, you can make a retroactive perception.
Sure.
Sure, why not? I ain't seen shit.
That's a 16 for me.
Somewhat good for Felzy. 17?
Yeah, that's pretty good for Failsy.
She managed to drag her eyes away from wife boobs.
Well, it's mostly just because your eyes are occasionally drawn to the next biggest source of boobs in this entire place, which would
is-
be Lee.
Yeah, which is Lee.
Morrigan's are nice, but Lee has the sheer mass. And they're always out. No,
Fair.
but both Dravinci and Failsy would have noticed this. As you all were looking around the cart and getting yourself comfortable, Lee set down all of his new kitchen equipment in the kitchen, then noticed the storeroom that's off to the side, looked inside of it. It just looked... He gave a squinty, disappointed look and just left again. Without saying a word.
Felzy's gonna look into the storeroom.
The only things you currently see in the storeroom are dry grain stalks. And a couple of jars of preserved fruits.
I think Lee's gone grocery shopping.
Oh, that
Ah.
would make sense. Well, we ought to give him the news when he gets back then.
Yes, he'll be over the moon.
Or just give him more anxiety.
Well, he still ought to be told.
I agree. Don't expect his response to be all sunshine and rainbows.
That's fair.
He is a big one, yes? The big green one?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
He's Keta's boyfriend.
Oh.
He likes him
I
too.
thought that there was something going on between those two. They seemed very lovey-dovey.
They already made the size difference work.
Well, with a little effort and a lot of passion, you'd be surprised at how easily it does work. Puts
I
an
don't wanna
arm
think
around his shoulders.
I don't want to think about that.
She just smiles. Alright then. I suppose we'll have to wait for him before we depart.
Yeah.
Yes, so
Gives us
So
time to
let's
get
get
our
our-
stuff. Yeah.
let's get ourselves settled then.
Yes, you should do that.
Hello, Elway.
You didn't scream this time. How disappointing.
I was expecting you to appear out of nowhere at any moment.
Careful. You're learning.
But I made sure in the plans to leave a spot for a chair for you.
Good. It's all become rather complicated, hasn't it?
Where do we even begin?
You need not give me the details. I've been listening.
I have an idea where we can start. A rousing round of murder.
Against who?
A not so nice dragon lady.
That does not
That's
seem.
Fair.
What's a dragon?
Right.
What I learned recently.
Must be a new word you've picked up on your travels. I can't be surprised.
It's Brimstone trying to remember what Corvanas looked like and not remembering it. Just big, terrifying thing.
Fair enough. I can think of a few big, terrifying things.
Yeah, but not like your mom.
Are you calling my mother terrifying?
She is significantly larger than I am, yes.
She radiates pure joy and sunshine. You take your words back.
I'm not saying she doesn't. I'm just saying if her favor suddenly turns, I don't have a good chance of getting out of there alive.
That is true. I will give you that one.
It's not so much I'm scared of her, I'm more just I respect something of that size. Someone of that size. Just out of base necessity for liking living.
I was frustrated, but your common sense has saved you.
Brimstone. I guess it's fair.
She just nods. Alright, and if you all just want to y'all just make yourselves at home, getting your things packed into the various rooms wherever you decide to make it yours. Interestingly enough, despite the walls, which must clearly be very thin in this location, you can't really hear much sound transfer between the rooms. In fact, aside from directly against the door, there is no sound transfer at all between these walls.
Oh, goody, we don't have to worry about being quiet.
Easy. You wouldn't have worried anyways.
Ha!
No, but you would have.
You're not wrong. I don't like bothering people with that stuff.
And I don't like being bothered by it.
It's fair. It's very fair. But after you all have made yourselves comfortable for a little bit, you do hear the back door of the cart open again and shuffling as something enters.
I imagine Da Vinci and Brimstone are at the workshop area trying to determine, okay, whose section is, how much of the workbench is going to be the guns, and how much is going to be the jewelry. When that happens, and they just both look past
Probably.
around the corner.
You just see Lee doing the carrying far too many shopping bags in one trip maneuver, but they're just like
It's-
canvas bags.
If it's not all in one trip, it ain't worth the effort.
You see like the full bulge of every one of his muscles in his arms and like his neck veins popping out slightly, as he's probably carrying what must be almost an entire produce stand worth of product.
Are you good? Do you need help, or...?
I got it. I carried it all the way up here.
Okay.
There are so many stairs to get here.
We could have waited and then brought the cart down to to the market.
Yeah, I think it's too late for that.
The head just turned towards you. I didn't think about that.
That's fair.
I'm used to boats, which you gotta get the stuff on it. It can't come to you.
Anyways,
All right. Boom, boom, boom. Just loud thundering steps as he's walking forward. Yeah, he gets things loaded into the storeroom. Now fully packing it with products he can cook with.
As he's setting everything down, Da Vinci's gonna look at Brimstone. When do you want to tell him?
maybe
What's he
after
said?
he's not overexerted himself, or well, maybe he hasn't overexerted himself, but still, it's a lot of bags.
What do you want to tell me?
We got some good news, but you better empty your arms first.
He's currently just holding a watermelon.
And even that, put that down.
Okay. He sets the watermelon on the countertop.
Kata's alive, at least in decent enough condition to send spells. Conveniently, we're coming across her in our travels, but it's going to take us about 2 weeks to get there.
He just stares at you.
Yeah, I'm not happy about having to wait 2 weeks either.
No, it's not like an angry stare. There's
It's more of like
an
the what?
expression.
What?
And then he just starts vibrating.
I was right in having him put down the watermelon.
I feel like Brimstone's looking at Lee and then at Vinci like, what the fuck does this mean?
Just Da Vinci starts doing like a countdown. One, like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
He just
Just
lets
wait.
out an orc scream.
And then just
Sound even picked up on the microphone.
No.
no, it didn't.
Probably for
just
the best. That was a weird sound.
The orc scream goes off. Da Vinci just gives a light nod, like, "Yep, yep, yep."
Everything okay in there?
I don't know.
Just so I'm gonna turn off noise suppression for a second because I think that'll let it be heard. But this is the
Yeah,
sound.
well,
Everything's fine.
I think.
Lee's just excited.
It's like a weird combination between an orc screaming and an animal roaring.
Morgan just pokes her head into the room. Ah, so you told him then.
Yeah.
I'm gonna roll to see if Lee does something.
Uh-oh.
Yep, that's a bad check.
Oh no.
Just slams head into watermelon.
Ooh.
He lifts his head up with a watermelon still on it.
Are you good now? What?
I think I am.
He's good.
Okay. Oh, the yelling made my ears start ringing again, so I don't understand a damn thing he said.
Quite the set of lungs.
I mean, look at how big his chest is.
Yep.
That boy
He
is
takes
quite
the watermelon off of his head. We're gonna have to find something really good I can cook to make sure she's welcome back to properly.
Yeah.
You have the whole trip to plan it out and find the ingredients.
I was walked
So-
out of the arm full of enchanting gear. How about meat cake?
No,
Don't
she
think
doesn't.
she'll like that.
She doesn't like the meat cake.
Mostly because they think the meat fruit still confuses her.
It's a good fruit.
I don't
No.
care, but
I think, yes, I know what I shall do. We're going up to that like fancy like elf place up in the north, right?
yeah.
Where are we actually going in there?
Well, she's in
We're
the...
go.
He looks between the two of you as you both start talking at the same time.
We're going to a place called Petalfall, which you can verify. Morrigan is, if I recall correctly, quite close to some of the Elven enclaves.
Yes.
I believe so, yeah.
This would be a lovely time that if you want, I can give the exposition on Petalfall as if Morgan were giving it.
Please do.
Yes. So, Petalfall as a settlement has been around for roughly 100 years now. So it's a fairly young settlement in terms of the established civilizations of the whole... Excuse me, I burped. Of the whole of Aquila, being this whole planet. Though it is established upon a very bizarre rule. There are two specific sects of people in there. SECT, by the way. Sect.
Those who look not as amused.
Uh-oh.
But yes, it is developed upon two very distinct sects. My speech is not good.
Groups.
Two different groups of people. That being the normal citizens, typically made up of elves, Eladrin, other Fey races, because it's not limited to simply elves, some beast folk, a generally diverse race as far as the Draic Empire is concerned. And then the lower caste, which is actually made up almost entirely of a race of sentient humanoid bees. It's bizarre because they are, by all intents and purposes, and especially to the outside world, they are slaves. But by all records and accounts, as far as anyone has ever recorded, it is a slavery union ship that they willingly entered into. As
Physical labor.
as they themselves are apparently a very fragile and weak race, but are incredibly skilled craftsmen and collectors. So as part of the settlement of Petalfall, they essentially agreed to be treated, as far as recognition is concerned, as slaves, so they're treated fairly well, all things considered. In exchange for their services, they would receive protection, which is definitely needed given that the Draic Empire has a lot more threats in it than the lands of Graynham does.
Yep.
In terms of the actual political structure of Petalfall, it is technically a monarchy because it is ruled by a single royal lineage. However, calling the established government of a only 100-year-old nation where the people live easily over 100 years in age, a monarchy, is bizarre. But in terms of what one can find about them from the political spectrum and from the general awareness of how the civilization is set up, that is the majority of it. It's also known for having a export of incredibly delicious sweets and honey-based products, for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
The treats from there are just simply divine.
I'm gonna make honey buns.
Well, considering honey's an export from there, you'd probably have no issue finding the honey for them.
Yee.
Incredibly high quality honey at that.
I don't know much about them, but I will admit, it's weird to hear that they keep slaves.
Honestly,
But-
I find it weird too, but she just shrugs.
The way you described it does not seem like slaves as I understand it, though.
Seems like they're basically just that in name only. Like,
Even then, it's like a willing arrangement. It seems to be mutually beneficial. I don't know if
yeah, kind of
really
like
slavery.
yeah, kind of like when a gardener lets spiders live in their garden. One could argue the spider is a slave to the gardener, but really, spiders just live in there, taking care of any pests that the gardener doesn't want. Obviously not completely the same, but, you know, similar idea.
Huh. Most bizarre.
We'll learn more when we see it.
You're not wrong. Well, then. Well, that should be something that we should get to pretty fast.
Yeah.
I'd like to be there now.
Oh,
We're charting out a direct course, but we can't move faster than as fast as this thing can move. I've unfortunately haven't been there personally before for me to be able to teleport there.
Darn it. Poop. Well, let's get there as fast as we can then.
yeah, and we gotta get there safely. We want to be there. We want to get to her in one piece, right?
No. Fast.
Well, she'll, Lee, she'll want you in one piece, and you know it.
I could lose a hand if it means faster.
Yeah, let's not. Because then she'd scream at me for it. Even if it's not my fault.
That's fair. Okay.
It's a habit she annoyingly picks up from her mother.
I don't know how to respond to that. Her mom seemed nice.
Yeah. Most times.
Okay. And I'm gonna get started on lunch. If y'all can get us on the way, then I'd like that.
Yeah, so I'll take a look in to see what the status is of the cons of our mount.
Yeah, there was like a weird thing strapped to the front of this cart.
Is it?
Oh, they already set it up. Well, let me go and take a
Yeah.
check.
It's like it's yeah, you'll see it. He just sort of waves off.
Renche's gonna step out of the back of the cart and walk around it.
Morgan's coming with because she wants to see.
I was going to go with as well. After dumping her enchanting gear onto the workbench that they were arguing about.
Everyone takes over the workbench. Alrighty then. You all make your way out of the cart and step around it. The creature you see on the other side appears to be a large oxen.
Sure.
Huh.
That certainly doesn't look as fast as Gladriel.
Yeah, it's like a large woolly oxen.
Certainly looks like it could be strong.
In case you're curious what I mean by a woolly oxen, I mean these things.
Yeah.
Yes. Basically a yak.
Yee.
Yeah. A little less fat than a yak is. What is the name for the actual creature that I was originally based this off? I think it's called a musk ox.
Probably.
They're like really big oxen that have like a huge hump on the back.
And they're
It's
adorable.
It's kind of like that, but it still has like the full hair hanging over the eyes.
Yee.
Yeah, this is a musk ox.
Ah, I see.
It's kind of like a mixture between those two things. Like a standard woolly oxen and then a musk ox. Much more furry and less smelling of dirt, though. It just idly looks over towards you all as you make your way out of the cart to look at it.
Has
the new cheese doesn't fit.
has Da Vinci seen a creature like this before?
Give me a nature check?
Okay. Nat 20.
Yeah, sure.
Why
You've seen-
is it
you've
that
seen-
we're always getting 20s on things where Ash is just like, maybe?
It's because it's just like I'm just like, I mean, probably, but he might not have because it's not really something that would be involved with his line of work. But sure,
Yeah,
anyways.
Yeah, you know, it's just like Failsy. Do I know what a pit fiend is? Possibly? Nat 20. I guess? Do you know what a Maresi is? I don't know.
Oh, actually, this kind of makes sense. They're not oxen, but you would actually know that. I hate when my brain goes blank on one of my own characters' names.
Oh, same.
Yuki? It's completely slipped from my brain.
The kitsune or the
No.
Yukiona?
The Yukiona, but her name has slipped from my brain. No!
Fuyumi.
Fuyumi. Yeah, it's Fuyumi and Akari. That's it. I hate when that happens.
I've had it
Yeah,
happen
fuck's
too.
I gave you your name. Why has it left me?
Hey, at least we have records.
Yeah. I keep a list of all the people Da Vinci has interacted with for purposes I won't explain.
Because they're all going to turn on us in the end.
Some of them might. Anyways,
When it
But
turns
yes.
out that Da Vinci is actually the second coming of Corvinus.
no.
He just decided
Yeah.
to be more fancy this time. Because nobody will notice the fancy man.
Fair enough. No, but yes, Fuyumi actually does keep yaks, which this does remind you of. Like yaks and actually, strangely enough, bison in her estate. So you have seen creatures like this before. Strictly exactly this type of creature? No, even with a natural 20. But it's very reminiscent of large bovines you've seen.
Venture will give it just a pat and brush on the shoulder.
Its fur is surprisingly soft, though very thick and coarse.
Well,
The actual individual fibers of the hair are thick and coarse, but overall when you pat it, it feels soft.
a creature like this would be able to pull us even through the Jaloon tundra. Although I hope we'd never go there.
Well, we're prepared for if we have to, at least.
Yep, big, strong, can end up practically carrying a house on its back.
It is carrying a house on its back.
Uche.
Vinci, when you take your hand away, your hand smells vaguely like popcorn.
At least they addressed the biggest downside of these creatures. They normally stink incredibly awful. Especially when one gets wet.
Its head turns towards you.
In a insulted fashion, or?
It's hard to tell because you can't see any of its face besides its nose. But the nose just like flare up a little bit.
I'm not saying you do.
The head turns back forward.
But they are commonly used up in areas in the north where it gets incredibly cold and snowy.
I don't think I've ever seen anything like it before.
Well, this was all we were... Unless we need to say a proper goodbye to Graynham, I think we're ready to go.
I think we already gave a good equivalent, and also he's probably busy working with Tim and the others to address the issues.
I would like to have been able to tell him what we found out, but
You could still seek him out real quick. With you all, you could find him.
Well, we could seek him out, or Brimstone, I guess. You probably know someone who you can trust to pass on that message.
What message that Keta's in pedal for? I'm sure she's probably already sent one to him.
We can't be sure about that.
I don't really want to take the time, honestly.
If Keta's sending messages, she probably sent him a message already. She likes doing that.
Yeah.
well, I would like to play it safe. My stuff's already put away where I want it. I'm gonna go try to find Graynham and let him know.
Okay.
Plus, it'll give you others that use the workbench time to figure out who's going to get what's part on it. And she's just gonna go look for Graynham.
Come on, it wasn't that bad. We're just more discussing where tools should be laid out. Just fade into the distance.
Look back and there's a big bag of parchments, ink pots, scrolls, and mushrooms just sitting in the middle of the bench.
All right then, Morrigan, you make your way back into the bastion, looking to find Graynham. It doesn't take terribly long. You ask around a bit, and you are pointed in his direction.
Alrighty.
You find him pretty much back in that same office. You've met with him several times now.
And she'll just gently knock on the side of the door before coming in, just like a little...
Oh, did something come up?
Yeah, some rather good news that I thought you should hear before we head out.
We could certainly do with some good news. What is it?
Is it alright if I close the door behind me?
Certainly.
And she will do so, and then just... Kat is alive. She escaped. She sent Brimstone ascending.
That is good news.
And,
That's remarkably good news.
and it gets better. She's in the city we're heading to anyway. That's amazingly good luck, I'd say.
Or perhaps fate's on your side in this time.
Maybe.
I would say you deserve it.
Yeah.
Well.
Although that does raise the question, because everybody's pretty antsy to get there. Then, from my own estimates, where I've been looking into the place we're heading to, it's going to take us roughly 2 weeks to get there ordinarily by carriage.
Yes. Unfortunately, the mount that I got you this time, it's not one for speed.
So 2 weeks then is what we're looking at.
You could continue to travel at night, which might cut a few days off your travel. The issue is that that mount was newly made, so if If there's anything of interest on those roads, it will not stop to inform you. It will simply walk.
Well, the windows should help with that, and
I suppose I should let you know since you came here. Its particularity is actually combat.
oh. So,
Yes.
that's good to know. Does it have any specific command words for that, or if just a fight happens, it'll defend itself and the cart?
More or less, it will defend itself in the cart. It essentially will make sure that you all don't have to worry about your vessel if something can cost you.
Good to know.
It was actually originally something we captured and adapted to be a mounted entity. Do you know what a Gorgon is?
What would I roll to see if Morrigan knows what that is?
Arcana, probably.
I would say probably Arcana.
Okay.
Of course.
Of course.
See, this one I just don't roll that check because it's like Brimstone don't know shit about
Even
it.
if it was a disadvantage, an 18 ain't bad.
True.
To be fair, and this is actually something that's kind of legitimate, not terribly strange that you would have heard of this, because it wouldn't have been in Morgan's generation, but this was actually something that became a problem on the Palecrest Isles a few hundred years ago. Which was the fact that because the Palecrest Isles is relatively close to the continent of Magisteria, occasionally forces will try to cross the Palecrest Isles.
Yeah.
There was a trampling force of about 20 Gorgon that ran over and essentially stampeded one of the Palecrest Isles. And there's quite a lot of history about them and what they are. It's essentially, as far as records were concerned, a metal bull which was terrifyingly strong and could expel a breath that could turn living creatures to stone.
Okay, so it's just like, he says that and she just like, goes a little pale. Yeah, I think considering where I'm from, I'm aware of what a Gorgon is.
Yes. We performed some magic on it to remove its most dangerous of abilities. Switching it out for instead of breath that paralyzes, instead of petrifies.
So temporary instead of permanent then, huh?
Yes. Last thing we need is to have a creature which, if anything were to happen in it, for it to go rogue. Which has happened with some of our constructs, and we've had to deal with them. We don't want something that would be turning people into statues.
That's fair.
But yes, that is what it is.
Well, good to know that. I'll be sure to let the others know.
He nods. Is there anything else you'd like to report before you leave? Aside from giving me probably the best news I've heard all day.
That's really, well, if you want to know something funny, when Lee heard the news, he smashed his face into a watermelon.
I'm somehow not surprised.
Yeah, figured you could use a... Although, there's only one worrying thing with that. Apparently she has a tail now.
I don't strictly know if that is worrying, but it is a bit odd.
It could be worrying, it could be nothing. Let's hope for nothing. Other than, there's a little tiny bit more of her to love now.
Fair enough. Alright. Thank you, Morrigan.
You're welcome. Everybody seems pretty antsy to get going, so I'm gonna head back. We're probably gonna be heading out as soon as I get back to the cart.
Alright then. Be safe in your travels.
Do our best.
Oh. And remind Javinche that I have his letters of recognition for you all to cross the border. They're in the cart right now.
Will do.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And she'll head back to the cart.
Alrighty then. As you arrive back at the cart to find your companions squabbling over desk space, we're gonna go ahead and take bio break.
Yee.
Bio break!
Everybody go, just do what you need to on bio break, even if it's just grab another drink. Or stretch your legs.
Well,
Maybe we'll
yeah.
get to see Keta tonight. Maybe.
Well, yeah, because when Fancy does body modifications, she's turning her hand into a fucking spider. Which is just in line with Brimstone's expectation of Failsy, of just like, "Yeah, that's fucking weird."
Nope. Failsy turned another one of her appendages into a different creature again. It
Oh,
happens.
look at that. Must be Tuesday.
Future preview. Level 4 spells for Failsy include
Polymorph.
other people's hands into things.
Yeah, I need both of those.
You know that I could turn your hands into something. What? You'll find out.
A future spell
let-
called... There's a future spell called Grim Revenge, where she literally rips off someone's hand and turns it into a wraith. Or a rat.
What? She.
Yeah,
What?
Failsy has some messed up spells. I don't think you guys understand that.
I'm just more. She makes a whole ass ghost out of a hand.
Oh, it's got the stats of a wraith or right. I forget which one. But it's
Either.
considered tiny because it's still a hand. It's trying to punch
Probably
itself.
a white, considering that's a corporeal undead.
I'm
Probably.
surprised she doesn't just turn it into a crawling claw.
I mean, for a 4th level spell, a crawling claw would be pretty.
You could give it a crawling claw with some updated statistics.
I mean, yeah, that's fair.
Like give it the magical ability of choke a bitch.
Maybe we'll.
I have a spell for that, actually.
So, as a note, Brimstone also did get the name that Keta is going underneath.
Yeah,
Wilton.
Yes.
yeah, Grandpa.
Because
Pawpaw.
she couldn't think of any other fucking name to disguise himself under.
Wilton.
He's good enough.
Brimstone just. Alright, yeah, okay.
I need to make sure I have the stats right for Failsy's item.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say for Wilton. I was gonna be concerned.
Old man for the.
Wilton,
Someone
He just like breaks, yeah, just drops through the fucking sky from the fucking sky. Just, where's my granddaughter?
Someone's committing a bout of identity theft.
Wilton.
Just
Turns out Wilton is like the Lady of Pain. He has no stats. So if you draw his ire, you're fucked.
that's funny.
I want you to know the entirety of like Keta's journey started with her supposed to go see her grandparents.
Yeah.
Wilson's sitting on his rocking chair, just where the fuck are they?
Where's the fucked baby?
Where's my baby?
Where's my ungrateful son and where's my baby?
Meanwhile, Meraki's probably like, just shut the fuck up.
No.
Well,
They were
wait.
supposed to be. They were supposed to be here like a month ago, 3 months ago.
Redemption finally calls his dad. It's like, yeah, so Captain has a tail, and
Okay.
well, she become an adventurer. I think Vivian lets her do that. I don't know.
Oh, impressive.
Oh,
I'll
and
do it.
the reason why they're so late is because apparently the boat that they were on to get to you got attacked by leviathans.
I'm gonna go pout drive a fish.
God,
But-
oh
I'll
no.
drive a fish.
Cut to Wilton out of his chair, which already you know something's about to go down. But just cut to him suplexing the kingfisher.
Get for interrupting my granddaughter when she's coming to visit me.
Don't you understand? She doesn't get to visit very often, and I don't get to leave.
Mainly because Rocky doesn't want him to kill things along the way.
Yeah, I'm just picturing Wilton gets up from the chair and like the whole world shakes.
He stands up from the chair, and everyone's just like,
Oh no.
and into the bunker?
It's like
I told you to stay
it's like when a
inside,
tornado
boy.
hits, the sirens go off. It's just Wilton is standing.
Okay. You know, introducing Lee to Kata's parents was might have been bad. Introducing Kata to Wilton. No, okay. Lee to Wilton.
Yeah, introducing Kata to Wilton. Oh,
Baby.
that's a good baby. That's a good baby right there.
She does a good baby right there. Would protect.
we
10 out of 10 would hug.
already know that.
Introducing Lee to Wilton.
Big boy.
Boys got beef.
Just the sage approving nod, and even Brimstone's like, "What the? Even I didn't get that."
He looks at your thin sniper arms.
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
Hasn't changed one bit since you were 12.
No, yeah, I'd like Richard Wilton, who's like 100 something. He's still like more ripped than Redemption.
He is.
Yeah, he's just gone from like bodybuilder to like lift to like fucking like
He's gone from bodybuilder to strongest man.
yeah, to strong man. That's what I was looking for. Where he's still got the gut, but it's still all fucking muscle. Yeah, like Kenta walks in with Lee. Wilton starts getting out of his chair, and Brimstone's like, "I'm gonna go. You kids have fun."
I don't like the phrase that just popped in my brain. I'm not gonna voice it.
Okay, but can you message it?
No,
Nah, I can't get it.
No,
it's not a statement that should ever see the light of day outside of my brain.
Oh, that cursed, huh?
Yeah, it's something he would say to Brimstone.
Oh,
I was
Jesus.
just like, that's completely out of character for all characters involved. But
Probably.
it's funny.
I feel like I should be concerned.
I'll say it. Just in relation to Brimstone being disappointed, or being like, what has he got that I don't got? Towards Lee with his muscles. Just like,
Brimstone, you're 20 years too late a twink.
I'm sorry, what?
It's funny.
What?
that's why I was just like, that makes no sense and should not see the light of day. Exposes it to sunlight anyways.
Memes.
Listen, the funniest thing to me is the fact that Wilton has known Brimstone at least since he's at, what, 15?
Like his whole fucking life.
Yeah, earlier than 15.
Yeah, like, Brimstone has been Redemption's best friend since childhood.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just, what has he got that I don't? Brimstone, I've seen you since you were a lad, nothing. There's a lot.
Yeah, that's fair.
Oh god, I just realized the next time Wilton's gonna see Ketsa again, she's also gonna have horns. like actual more horns this time.
What happened to the nubs? I like those. They were cute.
I'm not cute. I'm tough.
You're adorable.
Those two aren't exclusive. Look at your grandmother.
Yes.
No.
I can't get the right timbre on Wilton, so he ends up just kind of sounding like a gruffer version of Lee.
Yeah. He's got like a very special type of little gravel in the back of the throat.
Good Lord, poor Meraki. Fucking no, well, not poor Meraki, but Amanda. She has a lot on her plate.
Mostly from Wilton.
Mostly.
And Wilton has a lot on his plate from Meraki. She cooks a lot.
Yeah. Listen, she went.
You think I got so fat?
She went from being kind of like at least like a in the army to like I got nothing to do and like I picked up a bunch of cookbooks, so I'm gonna learn how to cook.
She's one of those people who embraced being a housewife, not for the sake of the cottage core type vibe of it, but mostly out of boredom.
Yeah. Because now she had a son, and it's just like, well, I gotta stay home and take care of you.
I have to stay home and take care of you and make sure Wilton doesn't kill people for stepping on his lawn.
And then she got another
Damn
son.
kid stepping on my property.
Listen here, boy. You take one more step on that property line, I'm gonna teach you how to walk without a leg.
I think
I still love the interaction of Brimstone trying to convince Da Vinci to step on the lawn.
Go for it, Da Vinci. Nothing bad will happen.
The fact that you're being so enthusiastic about it is precisely why I'm hesitant.
there's only one person allowed to step on the lawn, and that's just because she runs up the lawn to go see him.
I picture Wilton just like clutching like a sword, and then just oh no, that's just Kyoto.
You better follow the pathway. Otherwise, you might step on a mine.
Okay.
Wilton is that guy that would actually put landmines in his yard.
When
How do
one
you take-
detonates, it just serves him right.
How do you take care of the lawn, Wilton?
I
That's the
don't.
secret. I don't.
How do you take care of the lawn, Wilton?
I know where they are.
How do you take care of the lawn? It obeys me.
Yeah, it just refuses to grow past a certain length.
That grass don't grow as long as it knows better.
It grows so long, and he just goes out there and yells at it until it just shrinks back into the earth.
No, he walks outside and looks at it.
Yeah,
As he's standing up, it knows what's about to happen.
Okay.
yeah. What did I tell you last time, boy?
Before we
Just
get back,
the one blade of grass that tries to be rebellious suddenly is instantly gone.
before we possibly get back to session, just the good mental image of everybody sees Wilton as so gruff, so just you don't fuck with him, and then you see him with his granddaughter. There may be a slight hint of a smile.
This is a good baby right here.
Pats her on the head.
You can fit so much love and affection in this baby.
It's so small.
And she's basically
Also
pulling on his horns.
stubbornness.
And also stubbornness, just you take that fucking back, boy, before I break your knees.
And also stubbornness.
She learned from the best.
I know you mean you, but
Redemption learned from the best. Which means
Yeah,
she
okay.
learned from the best. And boy, you got your own brand of stubborn, so she learned from you too.
yeah, but she didn't learn the way I did, and honestly, that's probably better.
Yeah.
One
And
time
they-
he agrees.
I made you a cookie.
I will cherish it for the 3 seconds it exists.
inhales.
No.
Meraki has put on a strict low sugar diet. It's like, no, you're gonna kill. You're gonna get yourself killed with that much sugar. No,
They who
woman.
gave it to me.
When Ket is around, the sugar limitations are lifted.
As far as I'm aware, I did not lift the embargo on the sugar.
And then Ket's just, Grandma, please!
You can't stop me.
You can't stop me. She just puts her finger on his forehead.
Fuck.
Damn it.
Ket, you didn't hear that.
Tiny little. no.
She's probably heard worse.
Yeah.
Like, damn
What?
I got some boars that need some legs removed.
it! Well, I'm going back on.
No, if you mean me or if someone's on the lawn again. Probably both.
So I'm gonna kneecap you.
Yeah, I know better than to run. I just die tired.
Good boy.
I love Wilton as a character so much.
I want to meet him so bad.
He's so
you
threatening.
You guys have all met him so many times, just not in game.
Yeah.
Because none of the roleplay out of game is any different than how he is in game.
Yeah, because assumedly Keta has seen him multiple times over her, her visiting or him visiting her.
Him visiting her. Keta hasn't been allowed to leave until recently, so
yeah.
She hasn't gone to Tezverel before.
Yeah, so it's Meraki and Wilton coming over to visit.
Alrighty then.
This is an A-grade premium, baby.
It's too fucking cold here, son.
Shall we pick back up?
Yeah.
Probably.
Yee.
Chelsea, I've just... Okay, never mind. I saw this thing. That spell, even for 4th level, might be a little bit too powerful.
Yeah, a lot of these spells need to be balanced because
No, it's not quitters talk.
I'll have to think about that because that literally removes someone's ability to fight if they just happen to fail a single saving throw.
They still have a hand. They just have another hand that's trying to beat them to death.
Still.
Stop hitting yourself, the spell.
Yeah, but if you cast it twice on them...
Learn how to save better.
I'm gonna slap you with your own hand. Anyways, yeah, if we're good to get back into it, let's get back into it.
Yee.
I'm good. I'm gonna be over here.
Alright, get back in your corner.
Back in your chambers.
Go
Danny,
back
you
to
there?
where you were. Take up your popcorn and watch. Danny, are you there?
Yeah.
Okay, we're just making sure.
I muted myself because I was eating tater sticks.
That's fair. Oh, we must make sure. Tater sticks sound good right now. Alright, so as we pick back up, you all have, at this point, left the Bastion. Trundling along in your cart as it has now been fully loaded with all of its amenities and necessities. Discuss some ins and outs about who's going to use the bench first. And realizing that already you're probably going to need to get another workbench installed. Just for the sake of it. But you all heading out of the city for the first time in quite a few sessions.
Well, it wasn't that long. It was only like 7.
It wasn't that long. It's only been like 3 months.
That's fine.
That's a little too pumpy.
What?
I forgot that my traveling music is all kind of got a little bit more exciting than I expected it to be.
People.
Where is... This is a tried and true combination. Alright, so now that you all are traveling yet again, my brain almost just switched into Ryutama mode. Oh, I said the words and it was just like, make a travel check. I was just like, that's not this game. That's not this system. That's tomorrow.
I rolled the color blue.
Oh,
yes,
damn,
what-
you lose. You die.
What's the terrain and weather condition that?
Well, currently sunny, and at this point, grasslands.
7.
That makes sense if you guys know what that game system is.
Yeah.
Nope.
I mean, given where we're going, though, that actually does make perfect sense.
No, that was just really weird because my brain just switched completely to another game. It was just like, that's not right, brain. Nope,
you use this
pull that
music
back.
quite often in Ryutama. I can see why.
I don't use this music in Ryutama. We don't use Roll20 music in Ryutama. Never mind. This is similar to the music we use in Ryutama sometimes, though.
Oh, yeah, it is. Yeah, I'm hearing some differences now.
Yeah. Mostly because I can't use the music I like using in Ryutama in this game because we stream. But
Anyway.
it's all good. So, is there anything you all are wanting to do over the course of your travel to the border? Because I actually decided to pre-roll this to see if anything interesting would happen over the course of this travel, and nothing does. Because Gradum is kind of a boring nation, all things considered.
It's very safe.
Yes, it is kept fairly safe. Now, there is obviously a little bit of tension as you all are heading towards, even in the general vicinity of Fellhaven.
Da Vinci would first make sure all of our papers are in order.
Papers, please!
Real papers.
And sorry,
What?
you're gonna say something, Myth?
No, I was just adding on to what you said.
Ah,
I just said, all your papers.
That
that are your papers. Next thing you know, we reenact Indiana Jones. He didn't have his ticket. Just everyone gets thrown out of the wall, off the wall.
Anyway,
You say that, and I don't think about Indiana Jones. I think about the Polar Express.
fair.
Tickets, please!
Anyhow.
It's time for Coco!
He's just going to work on trying to finish up his current project.
Yeah, which you actually only have a single roll left on.
Yes.
So do you want to go ahead and do that real quick? Because that would be something you'd be able to potentially complete over the course of this journey.
Yes. What attribute should I roll?
So you've already done all of the forming work, so this is all just the fitting and making sure it all goes together properly.
Yep.
And you've been pretty successful on all the proper measurements and stuff based on your previous rolls. I would say this one would be based on intelligence because it's essentially following your own diagram for getting it all fitted together properly.
Okay, that's a 17.
Alright. Not your best roll for it all, but I'd say that's good enough for you to have completed this project then. Within the first couple of days of travel, you managed to finally finish this piece you've been working on for quite some time.
Woo! What Da Vinci ends up presenting once he declares himself done is on a platinum chain hangs a 3-section pendant. So where on the left and right are these almost like angel wings extending out to where the tips of the wings are what's connected to the chain. That are made with a solid platinum backing and then platinum wire to create the illusion of an array of feathers. And at the heart of the pendant, the centerpiece, is the visage of a person who is holding onto this large fire opal jewel that's kind of sitting that's sitting right below her chest, and there's these 2 hooks or 2 small points on the sides that the wings themselves are able to kind of fold in front, to allowing the 3-piece pendant to become a 1-piece narrower pendant. And on the back of each angel wing when folded together, creates the decal of a shield.
Fancy.
Yes, there's also infernal script etched into various parts of the decal.
Yes. It ends up being a very beautiful piece of work. You've spent a good amount of time on so far, and it's nice to finally see it completed.
Yee.
Alright then. Was there anyone else who might have something they would want to try to get done over the course of this week?
I'm gonna examine what this stuff is that Cadence gave me.
I'm gonna have to get you a write-up of this item because I currently only have it in a actual, like, physically written format.
Okay.
And it's got some interesting abilities. I'm assuming you're just gonna identify it?
Yeah.
Alright. You have identified the Staff of Radiance. A magical quarterstaff that can only be attuned by a sorcerer, warlock, or wizard. This magical quarterstaff has a +2 bonus to attack and damage rolls made with it. In addition, while you are holding it and attuned to it, your spell attack modifier is also increased by 2. The staff has 10 charges, recharging 1d10 charges daily at dawn. You can expend a charge to force activation of a wild magic surge.
Ooh. That's why you wanted to give this to me.
Well, it's also just, Cadence didn't really understand what it did, but she just figured Failsy can probably make use of this magical item that she might actually understand far better than I ever could.
Also, Failsy's sort of screeching to a halt, wondering Is Cadence a warlock?
Ted. I'll just say this outright. Technically, Cadence is like Failsy, where she is a sorcerer, but she can't use magic.
Okay.
Like, she has magic in her body, but has no ability to access it. It's kind of a weird thing she's got going on. Okay. Other abilities it has. When you make a melee attack with the staff, it deals an additional 1d6 damage of a random type. Wait, I think it's actually supposed to be a 1d8 damage because my writing looks weird here. A random type, the type determined by the roll of the die, similar to how a Chaos Bolt works.
Chaos has a whapping Chaos Bolt. Okay.
But yeah, that's the bulk of it. I'll send you a full write-up of the item's description later.
Yep.
Essentially, you have a staff that can forcibly activate wild magic.
Oh dear God, everyone's in danger.
Oh yeah, this is a actually this is a really important feature of this. If the effect of the surge is undesirable for the caster, they can expend another charge to halt its progress.
She's like, no, I don't want to deal with that, actually.
Yeah, that was an important note that I almost forgot to mention.
A little bit.
I don't want to fireball on self.
Fair enough. But yeah, now you have that item.
Okay.
Little bit of chaos in your life.
As it fails, he didn't already have enough.
It does also have a thing that happens if the staff completely runs out of charges.
As these charges, is this a recharge daily or?
Yeah, it recharges. It has 10 charges and recharges 1d10 charges daily at dawn.
Okay.
Its thing, if it runs out of charges, I'm just going to give you a brief overview. Again, I'll give you a full written up description of this later. But if it reaches 0 charges, you must roll a d20. On anything but a 1, nothing happens, and on a 1, an irrefutable bout of wild magic occurs.
Bye.
And I won't give the full details on what that means unless it happens.
Fair.
Because I am a Chaos Goblin.
Fair enough.
Oops, Failsy just unleashed 10 rounds of chaos magic. Everybody run.
Yeah, it's entirely possible.
Might be something like that. Alrighty then. But yeah, that's that item.
I had a past character die because a wild mage cascaded.
You just explode a little bit, it's fine.
Well, they exploded, went invisible, exploded several more times, then accidentally cast like magic missile, killed everyone else in the bar, exploded again.
Hey bro, you mind if I...
Anyway.
Alrighty then. But yeah, that's what you find out while over the course of your trip. Was there anything else people might want to accomplish?
I don't think of anything.
Don't currently have another enchantment thing to do yet, so
Fair enough.
at least
All
I
right, then.
decided not to try.
Fair enough. Alrighty then. So, without further ado then, you all make your way to the border. the massive spanning wall that stretches across the entire border between the area known as the Blossom Kingdom, which, as some of you are aware, is also referred to as the Draic Empire, though that's more generally speaking. The Blossom Kingdom is its own nation within the Draic Empire, and the nation itself that governs the entire structure. And it is a well-fortified and well-defended, very secure at its borders location. Luckily, though, with your proper paperwork and everything in hand, you are able to make your way across the border without much concern.
Biggest issue is really that we end up having to wait like 4 hours to get through.
Actually, no, there's not a lot of people going back and forth, so there's no real delay in you all making your way through. But there is a general bizarre feeling as you do. It's as you cross through the border wall, everyone in the party, Morrigan specifically, feel this strange electric sensation. Sort of feeling of ozone around you. Like the air is just abuzz with energy.
Is this familiar to Da Vinci?
Yes, though even now you're feeling it far more than you've felt in the past. There's something in the air of the Blossom Kingdom that just makes it more magically reactive than anywhere else in the world. At least in the civilized world. And Morrigan, partially because of your reading and also because of what you feel right now, it is similar to the wild magic that completely overtakes the continent of Magisterium. But it's reined in.
She just kind of shudders a bit at it, but doesn't really say anything.
Yes.
Everyone feel that?
Yeah.
Fortunately.
That's us entering the Blossom Kingdom. Say hello to an area that is rife with magic, wonder, and danger.
Yep. The place of the world where you can go, where the veil between this world and elsewhere is the thinnest. And on that note, with you all starting your adventure into the Blossom Kingdom, that is where we're going to end off for tonight. Even though we did start a bit late.
We've only been going for
That's
like
fair.
2 hours.
Yeah, but I don't want to go super late tonight.
Fair.
Fair enough.
Damn it.
I'm sorry,
sorry.
Andy.
I'm gonna try to keep us cut off at around 11 from now on. Just because I don't want this game to go super late into the night. People gots to sleep. And while we could easily go for another hour, I feel like it would become meandering if we did. Because there's stuff that is going to happen along this part of the travel. So I'd rather just start up with it on a fresh session.
Fair enough.
So that would mean having to start more properly at 8 just so you get enough time in.
Yay.
Yee. But it is official. Andy is back with us now.
I've talked with Ash about that. But hopefully you will be seeing that next session. I don't know.
Yee. Okay, before I do the consistent, if all together, thrown together every time outro, does anybody have anything they would like to announce, shout out, or promote?
No, I'm good.
Remember, eat your legs.
Taste your leg.
Okay, well, if there is nothing, then I will just do the typical ending spiel we do here. If you enjoyed this and would like to see what happens next, you can join us most Saturdays at or around 8 p.m. EST. We were a little late today, but you know, hey, that's just life for you. And you know, having a Saturday game when just
People got lives they gotta live.
yeah.
Like me, I was eating a burger.
Yeah, and plus we do have international from 2 different countries joining in with 4 U.S. players. And I'm counting the DM as a player in this situation.
Canada really count though.
I don't think Canada counts as existing.
It's easier with Armored being in Canada just because same time zone that I list for what we do stuff with. He's in the time zone that we use as our frame of reference.
Hey.
But But yes, if you enjoyed the Scattered Realms and would like to hear what happens next, you can join, like I said, you can join us most Saturdays at around 8 p.m. EST. And if you like Ash's DMing style and you just want to get some more D&D in general, but would rather something with a more modern twist to it, you can join us most Thursdays at or around 7 p.m. EST for Project Ada.
I don't know why you'd like it. I'm a horrible mess every time.
It's entertaining, that's why.
I'm a cat.
How dare you lie? First you make puns and now you lie, Armored?
I am
How
not a
far
cat.
does your depths of depravity go?
We already know it's fast.
There is no depravity, only lizard.
That's pretty depraved.
It is. It's just because he's a bayou man.
Alright.
But
But you good.
yeah. Okay, so with that all being said, everybody want to say goodnight?
Good night.
Good night.
Night.
Sleep.
Good night, everybody. We'll see y'all when we see you next. Ah, where's my mouse? I need my mouse to go to. There we go.